BC's minimum wage has been raised to $10.25 per hour. Now, is this good news for BC workers or bad news for small businesses? Let's start the Free Talk. I'm Allison Riley and you're watching Free Talk. After being frozen at $8 an hour for nearly 10 years, as promised, Premier Christy Clark has raised the minimum wage to $10.25 per hour. The government says that this will put an extra $4,000 in the pockets of minimum wage workers this year. But could this negatively affect small businesses? Will they have to cut back on employees and hours and even increase prices to compensate for the increase? So how do you feel about the recent minimum wage increase?
Minimum wage increase all depends on the business, right? I mean, if you have a small business, it's going to hurt the small business. If you're a big business, it won't hurt, right? I mean, just like I was telling her a little bit earlier in the paper, they had a girl that just started a cupcake business, and now the wage increase is going to keep her from, pursuing her dream of owning her own cupcake business, right? Because the $10 minimum wage is going to hurt her as far as making any kind of profit. So as far as small business people, it's going to keep people, from being able to pursue their dreams of opening their own business or, carrying on a family tradition of, a good recipe or something like that their grandma passed down to them, to where they can't share with the world now because of the minimum wage and how much it costs to start a business. If you have enough money, then the minimum wage should be like that, like a big corporation or something. I think the minimum wage is good at $10 an hour, but for a small business that's just starting up, I think it should, still stay at the regular $8 an hour or whatever it is.
Well, I mean, that's a management thing, right? Businesses are going to have to model their businesses accordingly.
It's a gray area because on one hand, there already aren't enough jobs. It took me like 3 months to get a job when I moved here. So if that's going to be affected, then fewer people are going to be able to find jobs. And at my works is like people come in all the time applying for work, even though we're not hiring necessarily. And it's just like people are constantly coming in and dropping off resumes like every day so I guess that is a concern that I didn't think of just because the work side of things, like I don't own a business, so that doesn't affect me really.
Now, on the flip side, a lot of people consider Vancouver to be a very expensive place to live. Do you think that's enough for people to live on?
No, I'm from the States. I'm from Ohio, right? And, down in the States, cost of living is way cheaper than it is here. So, you choose to live out here, you get what you pay for, right? It's beautiful air, mountains, trees, everything. You got the beaches out here. So
it's all included in the rent.
Exactly.
I actually have two jobs, and one is affected by the minimum wage increase. $10.25 is it's enough for me to live on because my rent happens to be cheap and I kind of lucked out. But I think for a lot of people, it's not necessarily enough to live on in this city. I just moved from Edmonton, and I don't think here it's a lot more expensive, just like everyday life things. So
really the most expensive city in the country, actually one of the most expensive cities in the world, and I don't think $10.25 is enough.
Yeah, I just recently moved here, so they should raise the minimum wage definitely because I mean the price of living here is just crazy, right? So
well, some people say it should be as high as over $11. Do you think that would help?
I think it would help a lot of people, that are struggling with rent and stuff like that. I mean, the more the merrier, right?
I see so many people, they come in, they shop, they can't afford anything. And these are, two couples working. And with the increase, it's got to go up because the prices of everything else are going up. So I think it's a fantastic idea. And I would hope that it would go up every year rather than every 5-10 years. Here in Vancouver, it's very expensive to live compared to other places in Canada. I'm originally from out east. And in the big cities, it's actually more expensive here than it is, say, in Toronto for certain things. So yes, by all means.
BC is currently tied with Ontario for the second highest minimum wage in Canada. Nunavut enjoys the highest at $11 an hour, while the Yukon has the lowest at $9.27. However, minimum wage workers in BC who serve alcohol will continue to earn $9 an hour because it's assumed they will earn more in tips. I'm Allison Riley, and thanks for watching Free Talk.